Hey everybody, and welcome to Crypto in a Week. This is a weekly video recap of all of the important events that happened in the crypto space. If you want a daily recap, you can also go to our website and find it on our blog called Crypto in a Minute. To find that, you can go to Learn, click on Blog, and then find Crypto in a Minute right here. These are readable blogs, and we'll also start posting the weekly update videos in this section as well, if you'd like to find them directly on the website and keep up with the written content each week. Let's get started by looking at the Bitcoin price this week. As you guys are almost definitely well aware, we had a very scary dump over the weekend starting on Friday that went all the way down and brought Bitcoin below previous peak levels to almost getting down to 17,000. This was a crazy cheap Bitcoin price, and a lot of people never thought they would see sub 20K Bitcoin again. Now we're back above that, but who knows? Now that we've seen it, it's possible we'll see it again. Some people are even saying it could go down further. But after this dip, we did see a recovery, and the rest of the week went relatively stably, getting up to almost 22,000 at one point, but staying just right around a little bit above 20K. So after that scary weekend dip, we had some relative calm in the crypto space following the Bitcoin price. During that scary dump over the weekend, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index went all the way down to 6, which is a crazy low level. Now it's still in the extreme fear area, but it's at 11. Which is not as insane as that 6 level. We actually have 2 quotes from Musk this week. One of them comes from when he was speaking at the Qatar Economic Forum on Tuesday, and he was asked about Dogecoin, and he said that he buys it and backs it because people who are not that wealthy have asked him to. And Elon also tweeted earlier that he will keep supporting Dogecoin. And when somebody replied saying that why don't you buy it, he replied to them saying that I am buying it. So unlike last week when I said I'm not sure if he's buying it or not, now he at least has claimed that he is. So both of these were good news backing Dogecoin, and we saw after this tweet the price went up and had a bit of a recovery, and now I guess people are probably feeling a little bit more secure of Elon Musk's continued backing of Dogecoin. And in other positive semi-celebrity crypto news, President Bukele of El Salvador tweeted and said that some people are worried and anxious about the Bitcoin market price, and his advice is essentially just to forget about it, wait it out, be patient, and it will go up again in the future. This quote really mirrors the general thoughts of most people who believe in Bitcoin. Even when it has a scary dip, in the long run future, most people who are really backing Bitcoin see it continuing to go up and gain value over time, as long as you just be patient. But not all news was positive in the crypto space this week. Another one of the big things that happened is the Luna collapse seems to still be having an effect on the entire crypto space, especially when it comes to stablecoins that are maybe a little bit less stable, such as algorithmic stablecoins. So this week we saw Magic Internet Money, which is a soft peg stablecoin on the abracadabra.money decentralized platform. We saw it briefly lose its peg and recover earlier in the week, and we also saw USDD, which is Tron Foundation's algorithmic stablecoin, lose its peg as well. Even though USDD is said to be significantly more backed with 200% collateralization, its peg still hasn't recovered, and it's still trading at around 97 to 98 cents when it should be $1. So we can keep an eye on USDD, see if it can make a recovery. But as we saw in news stories last week, it's not only stablecoins that are being hit with some instability from the recent crypto markets and the Luna fiasco. There is a decentralized protocol for lending and borrowing on Solana called Solend. And one major news story this week is that a major whale's holdings that are in Solend were voted to be locked or frozen. They're worth $170 million, and the rationale here was that if this was to suddenly move, it could really totally disrupt and destroy the entire Solend ecosystem. In similar news, Bancor Network decided to temporarily pause their impermanent loss protection, citing volatile market conditions and potential instability if they continue their impermanent loss protection right now. No word yet on when they'll start it up again. Likely part of the reason that the crypto markets were able to see some gains and some stability this week is because the US stock market also opened on Tuesday and experienced a bit of a pump. Although it slowed down rather quickly, and as with the crypto markets, it's sort of remained stable since then. This is making people question if in both the stock market space and crypto space especially, if we're on a sideways trend now, just sort of holding relatively stable around prices we're seeing. And in other Elon Musk news, the Twitter board of directors has decided to accept his discounted bid for buying Twitter. The reason this is crypto news is not only is he a vocal supporter of Dogecoin and Bitcoin, but he has said that he would like to make Twitter a app for payments as well, which, considering his history and his general outlook, would likely include cryptocurrency payments, especially perhaps Dogecoin. Also this week, a Bitcoin short ETF opened on the New York Stock Exchange, which means that now we have a Bitcoin derivatives ETF, a short Bitcoin ETF, and a closed-end fund, but still no spot Bitcoin ETF, which frustrates a lot of people, but it's good to see more Bitcoin-related ETFs getting out there, even if it is for shorting Bitcoin. And there's a few big stories in the NFT space. First is that Uniswap bought Genie NFT aggregator and is going to be adding NFTs onto their platform. The second that you definitely may have heard of is NYC NFT, which is a huge NFT event based in New York City, showcasing new NFTs, popular NFTs, new innovations in NFTs, and hosting a lot of different speakers in the space. Like many big events like this, it had its protesters holding up interesting signs against NFTs. Before this event, I never would have guessed people felt so strongly against NFTs, but the more you know, right? In other news, a US senator posted a cryptocurrency bill draft on Github, which is a first of its kind. The idea here was that on GitHub, everybody could provide feedback and suggestions, and together help come up with a more comprehensive, workable, helpful bill. Of course, a lot of people made fun of this and used the opportunity to create satirical content, but in my personal opinion, overall, it's not a bad idea, and it's nice to see that, at least on the surface level, there seems to be a desire for community feedback on the bill. You may have also heard that with the recent bear market, there has been a sell-off on GPUs, which previously have been way up in price as people are buying them to do crypto mining. So now many people are facing a choice. Should they buy one of these cheaper GPUs and try to get into mining for themselves? Or should they grab it so that they have a better GPU for gaming? Of course, this depends on your own preferences. But if you are considering getting into mining, remember that especially in Bitcoin, the competition is very steep and people have huge mining farms. So although it's possible we'll see a lower hash rate if the bear market continues for a long time, remember that a home mining rig is going to have trouble keeping up with huge competitors, especially if that hash rate goes way back up and breaks previous hash rate records. Finally, in semi-crypto related news, which seems almost satirical, Meta, Microsoft, and many other companies have launched a Metaverse standards group. The idea is to promote the creation of open standards regarding Metaverse technology. So of course this group has its proponents who hope that it will help the Metaverse come into fruition earlier and in a better way, while others see it as a step in the opposite direction of what they'd like the Metaverse to be, as it's a group of big corporations, and most people, if they imagine a Metaverse of the future, don't necessarily want it to be controlled by huge corporations who are in it for profit, but would rather it be a open space full of creativity and freedom, not governed by huge corporations. That being said, even if they make this group, it doesn't close down possibilities of other Metaverse projects who don't want to join. So in my personal opinion, it's still not necessarily a bad thing, even though it does sound a little bit ridiculous. To conclude, although we had a very scary weekend last week with Bitcoin dipping below previous highs, the following days somewhat made up for it, and we saw a bit more stability, with Bitcoin regaining above 20K, Ethereum regaining above 1K, and holding there steadily. Some people see the 1K for Ethereum and 20K for Bitcoin resistance lines as very strong. and that the price may move relatively sideways. But there's no guarantee that they won't dip again. One of the main things to watch out for right now is the overall recession concerns worldwide. That's why it's important to keep an eye on the news, see what's going on, see what might affect whatever things you are invested in. Alright, that's all for this week's recap. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a like, maybe comment something below, share it with your friends, and if you want to keep seeing these videos and other videos about topics in the crypto space, then you can subscribe to the channel as well. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.